brought to you by Fago.
Fago? Budweiser.
I was feeling poor. Hey, Jermaine, quick question.
Yeah.
What can Brown do for you?
Depending on which Brown you're talking about, because if it's AJ, he can do a lot.
Ah. All right. Well, that fell in its face. All right, boys and girls. Week 9 is in the rear view here.
What was you referring to?
Noah
Somebody
Brown, bitch.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
As I said, man, you got to. But go ahead. Finish the. Can you before we get into it?
Yeah. So week 10 is on the horizon here. The fantasy trading deadline is, at least in this league, is on the 18th. So that is 2 Saturdays. Mm-hmm. So, before we kind of get into everything that happened over the week, get your trades in because time's a ticking. You're jockeying, whatever. Yeah, that thingy. You're trying to get into the playoffs. So you got some reads, go ahead. But yeah, so week 9. I guess we should start this off here. I basically ramrodded Jermaine by grabbing Noah Brown midweek. And I think a direct quote was, "Remind me next time I see you, I'm going to choke you." So then, after Noah Brown scored his long touchdown, I then text Jermaine, hands or with a weapon? He did not respond.
Yeah. But, I was out of it. But
yeah, my cohort here is a little under the weather, but you should honestly be used to that by now because we have the immune system of an AIDS wing. So I don't know what's happening. I got the kids here. He's at the house alone, so I don't know if he's like licking windows or what. But
licking windows.
This tastes like purple.
I went out and I guess I was around a bunch of kids. I mean, these were kids that supposedly grown, but I was around a bunch of kids at some stupid club with my brother. And
oh God, you went back to that thing? 40-year-olds in the club? Uh-oh.
He wanted to go back, and I'm like, man, you're 47. You're older than us. Like, and he's like, antsy, like, let's go. Y'all ready? It's 10:30. I'm like, 10:30? I'm not going down to no fucking club at 10:30. Like, is you crazy? Yeah. But
yeah, that's silly.
Back to that old man in the club, what the fuck you doing in the club thing. So
love it.
So dealt with that. So I must have been around a bunch of kids, snotty nosed kids that are quote unquote grown.
Yep.
And somebody gave me something because Sunday, pure pain. Monday, pain. I'm talking like a walk to the bathroom, take a piss, and I'm shivering to get back to the bed. Like it was.
Oh yeah.
This is prime time. Like I wait my whole week for Sunday and Monday, and for it to attack me on them
the days. Worst, man. Like it's one of those things. I actually got some real cool topics to talk about tomorrow too on the X's and O's. But it's the weirdest thing. Like you get sick, you don't want to be sick ever. Obviously, you don't want to be sick unless you're a fucking lunatic. You never want to be sick. And you're like, God damn it, why am I sick on my off days? Then you realize, like, well, the alternative is I'm sick during my work day. And that's even worse. But it's like, man, I wanted this day to do nothing and be healthy. But now I have to do nothing and be sick. Cool.
Yeah. I didn't get nothing out of my off days at all.
Yeah.
Just pain and rest.
And an ass whooping.
Yeah. Pain and rest and an ass whooping to boot by a dude that ain't even playing no more.
Oh, hey, real quick. So people know because no one really messaged me. I think the only person that really would have messaged me would have been Bob, but he was in his own little tilt fest. So I get it. Probably not really wanting to talk to me at that moment. I completely get that. We didn't record on Saturday. So full disclosure, I could have sat here and made up some kind of crazy excuse, but I'm not going to do that. So Jermaine's brother came in. They wanted to go be old guys at the club. That's fine. I looked at the matchups and I'm like, I don't want to talk about these. Like, there's nothing here. Like, there's like 17 backup quarterbacks playing. There's only 2 real good games on the actual agenda. I don't.
It's starting to be the same conversations though, because we're trying out with the same teams. It's the same usual suspects. I mean, every once in a while, a team have an emergence of a player that you're thinking about starting. But with the Eagles, like, did anybody
Right.
change on the Eagles?
No.
No, you're starting the same usual cast of suspects. So it's like, I don't know. We could have still did it. I mean, it would have just been real fast. But like I said, he was rushing. Let's go to the club. I'm like, oh my god, this is insane.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you're excited, you're trying to go, then you're also like, I got to record to get this done. I if it was a better matchup week, I would have been like, all right, look, let's carve out some time real quick. We're not gonna run through it, but we'll be a lot quicker than we usually are. But the matchups were god awful, and I'm just like, you know what?
And Bob actually mentioned something about it because it wasn't there.
No. He didn't. No. The only person that would have maybe mentioned something would have been Bob asking, "Hey, where's the episode?" But that's why we didn't do it on Saturday. So, hey, sorry, things happen. But don't get used to that. That's not going to be the MO. We're not going to pick and choose or anything. It was just one of those extenuating circumstances. It just worked out. Perfect storm.
So, I'm not saying that we don't have vital input, but like I said, like you said, the matchups and what we would have said was probably a little bit obvious, so to speak, who you were starting.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no like real decision making you're making there. It's like if you have a backup quarterback, probably don't want to fucking play it. But,
yeah.
All right, so Daniel Jones is actually no fuck. And nobody even really cares about Daniel Jones. Let's be honest. So I don't know what Cam Akers did to people in his life, but this poor fucking guy, 2 years in a row, he tore each one of his Achilles. Like, what did you do?
I mean, I'm telling you, I put him in that same category with, I think, J.K. Dobbins, or it's like at some point you're just going to write him off completely because.
Oh, this is a career ender. There's no chance you tore each one of your Achilles tendons. It's not even like you just tore the one that you already tore. It's like, nope. It's like
you got people that do the same thing to the ACLs too, and it's like you say, "Hey, it's over." I don't know.
Didn't he do his ACL too?
I think so.
Like you're losing. You're running out of things to tear. I mean, at this point, for just like a humanity's sake, dude, just stop so you can be a person when you're 30. Like,
I mean, my thing is, and a lot of those ACL tears, it's just they don't look. A lot of them are non-contact. They don't even get touched.
Yep.
They just like the Daniel Jones one. He just backed up and just buckled. Like, damn. Okay. All right.
Well, I guess they were saying like something like he actually tore it the play before, and then when he backed up, it was like, oh no,
shit.
Oh, mistakes were made.
And you get people that the turf versus grass people that say, "Oh, it doesn't happen on grass." No, Daniel Jones, that was on grass.
Everyone will pick up like some kind of weird narrative and like point out something. Oh well, if this wasn't on a Monday night game and they didn't have to travel 400 miles, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
that's exactly. You know why it happens? Because your body is not meant to take giant 300-pound man hits to your body, and
like you said,
just to be okay
I guarantee you, any game that's in those international in London or Germany, or if a major injury happens over there, guess what they're going to point to?
Oh yeah, well they didn't get enough sleep, and like I'm just waiting for like some kind of scientist to come out and say, yeah, well because in Mile High Stadium there's more injuries because of Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly why it is. It has nothing to do with the 350-pound lineman that backed up on you and made your knee go inside out, right? No, nothing like that. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's silly. I don't get it. So poor Cam Akers, his career's done. At least it should be. Jesus Christ, please let it be done because you're not that good anyway.
He was. I mean,
Like
he
just
showed flashes with the Rams, and that was about it, right?
yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
He didn't. He never was a monster. Like
No,
I wasn't clamoring to have him. Maybe
nope.
towards the back end of one of those seasons, but
Victim of circumstance. I mean, sometimes you get the momentum, sometimes you're on that groove, and it's like, cool, okay. Speaking of the Rams, hello Carson Wentz, because
what? They wait till
because
they wait
why
till
not?
week 10 to sign this man off the couch. But, hey, who got signed off the couch and they was playing well? Somebody was like, it was some type of offensive lineman. He was like straight off the couch.
Yeah, the dude from the Giants. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forget his name, but then
it
I
was
think
like
he went right back to the practice squad or
yeah,
release or
like
something.
when they did their names and announcing, you know, how they
Shit was
say
funny.
I know when they say what college they from, he was like such and such off the couch. Like
Yeah,
that was his college he came from or something shit
yeah.
like that.
Yo, good for
Yeah.
him because usually offensive linemen are like, my name is Budabudu Dobadubudu Jake Moore. It's like, okay. And this guy's like, I was actually at a Burger King and you fucking text me. So I was like, all right, well, I mean, I guess I got my Sundays are free. I'm not doing shit. Um, let's see. Martavis Bryant to the Cowboys because, okay.
I mean, like no Cowboys receivers got hurt. So what? Why did they decide to pull that trigger now? I don't understand that one.
They have a Bryant quota they have to fill. That's all that
What
is.
for?
They have a Bryant quota.
I'm like, why now? Like
I,
maybe after they lost to Philly, they just was like, hey, we need another weapon somehow.
right, because now we're gonna run what 6 receiver sets. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking stupid. Makes no
Yeah,
sense. He will be practice squad hero. Have fun.
they can't win the big game. I mean, if you looked, Dak Bryant. I mean, I said Dak Bryant.
Dak Bryant. There's another one we gotta fill. All right.
Dak Prescott's face, he seemed pretty serious. Like they really wanted to beat the Eagles, and they still. I mean, he got flipped over and everything.
Dude, that hit was nice. Oh my goodness.
And he still couldn't beat them. So them and the Dolphins, to me, they're the same team. They cannot beat the big teams on the big stage. They cannot.
Miami fell the hell off. Like they were smoke and mirrors, fully smoke and mirrors. Now they're playing
That's why I
teams that
mean
are
I
like,
lost,
nope.
but I feel like I deserve to lose because when I told you when my two big quarterbacks don't hit,
Yeah.
and Mahomes had like 30 and Tua had like 20. When they don't hit and I don't score, if I put it this way, in our league, if you don't score 200 points, you don't deserve to win. So that's how I feel. Like I didn't score 200 points, but I didn't feel like I should get beat by a person that ain't even starting a quarterback in 2 other slots. But
Oh God, it's disgusting. And
yeah,
like
my scoring has been
and it sucks because
disgusting this year.
it's so far in the lead. It's so far in the year that I can't do anything about it. Like if it was up to me and I wouldn't hear any backlash, I would just completely I would put all of his players on the bench
I thought about
and
that too. I thought about that. I was like, when you locked this team, I wish you would have just locked and like just put zeros out there and gave everybody a bye. But it's too late. Yeah,
it's too late because the
after
people
he
that
beat the
played
one
him
dude by
that
360 fucking 6. Like, god damn.
right, because the people that lost to him or whatever, it's like they're gonna be like, well, what about mine? And then that becomes a whole thing, and it's just like,
Yeah, when you decided to lock his team, if you didn't make that move then, yeah, you definitely can't do it.
Yeah.
Different parts of the season. It's my job to put a fucking decent set out there that can at least score 200, and they didn't. So
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it was a pretty decently sized bye week this week. There's 4 teams. Next week is gonna suck.
next week
Oh
is
God. It's like
That's what
every
I'm
good
like.
team is on bye, so congratulations on not watching football next week. It's gonna be great.
Pretty much. And this is looking like a 3-game skid to me because I was supposed to win that game because I knew I didn't have a quarterback to play your son. Then I got to play you. I was like, hey, at least I'll be on a 2-game skid. Now I'm going to be on a 3-game skid, and I have to win those last games if I can even go back door in the playoffs. So, hey, I made my bed. It ain't like I said. Certain things, just injuries and stuff. Certain years you just don't. It just don't play out. I mean, and the luck. And the thing that cracks me up is he had Brees Hall, and Brees Hall didn't have a monster game. He barely beat me by 2 points. So just the fantasy god said, just to fuck you harder, we're gonna barely beat you with this. And then
Yeah.
the dude I tried out didn't even get not even a point. So that's just some years you just don't have it. And like I said, with your situation, you were on your way to losing, but right there at the 2-yard line, a gift from the heavens. Some years the luck all falls your way. And you didn't build your empire through the wire, so to speak. It was through trades so good for
Yeah.
you. Man. Good for you. Win that shit. Win that.
I mean, I look, I would be lying if I didn't sit around and look at this and really feel like you were putting yourself in very good situations, but you were definitely getting a lot of luck along with it. And that's like the funniest thing too. When you watch ESPN or NFL Network, they're like, "Oh, we're fantasy gurus." I'm like, "Fuck off! You don't know that." Like, it's all speculative.
In the
Like,
first couple episodes that we had when we did this, we outlined before we even drafted and all that. We outlined your fantasy success is determined by some of the draft, some of your waiver picks or your trade moves, and pure luck. We outlined that and we said it, and it holds true. I mean, you can have the greatest draft, you can have the greatest trades or wires. You still at some point got to get lucky because that player that is determined or that's projected to score 40 could sit there and drop you a two-pointer that week. I mean, it just happens.
well, this is the week in this league where the schedule rolls over, so you go back to how you began. What I think is actually pretty lucky is I get to dodge Kelsey twice this year. The first week he was hurt, and this week he's on bye.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, goddamn, that must be an omen, huh?
Who did you play that first week?
Taylor.
Oh, you played him this week. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and no Jalen Hurts and no damn Brown.
Right. Yeah.
Damn.
Right. It's like, cool. All right. But it's also like, who fucking knows? Who knows? Because I sat here and I trotted out 4 tight ends, and actually I pivoted because I was going to have Royce Freeman in, and I pivoted to Musgrave and played him. He got a tutty.
He got a tutty. Yeah.
Kate Otten got 2 tutties.
Cade Otton. I can't believe you somehow played that pick. I didn't even know you had Cade Otton.
Yeah. I picked him up this week. And I don't know if I think Logan Thomas got a tutty. I'm not sure.
No,
But he still had,
I had him in another
game.
league. He didn't have a tutty, but he had like 8 points, 8 or 9 points, something like that.
And then Mark Andrews does Mark Andrews things. So I literally trotted out 4 tight ends. Yeah. Fun game. Do you believe in CJ Stroud? Do you think he's an actual do you think like he can actually be a trustworthy start going forward?
I mean, as far as hands down, he's the best out of the rookie quarterbacks in the class. Hands down, he looks better than some of the 2-year quarterbacks way better than the shitty one we got here in
Well, I was
Pittsburgh.
gonna say, like who?
Yeah,
Hmm.
way better than some of the other 2-year quarterbacks. I can't. I don't know if you want to name, but in honesty, this 5 touchdown game, I hate to stamp on a man's success, but I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, it's
No.
like he's not going to have 5 touchdowns. I mean, is he getting lucky? Yeah, he's getting lucky. He's choosing the right, but he's choosing the right people to throw it to. But you get more film, defensive coordinators start looking and learning your tendencies, and they'll start disguising people and make you think it look open, and then boom, there's a D back right there to pick you off. So for right now, I mean, he's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the greatest I've seen, I ain't gonna say ever as a rookie, but way more advanced than a lot I've seen in the past 15, 20 years. I mean, he is awesome, excellent. But is it sustainable? I don't. A few more weeks of film, and he's going to come back to the pack. But for right now, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
Okay. I know you didn't really get to watch a ton of games, so there's not really like a ton you can pull from there.
Is there one game you got in particular in mind, or?
I mean, I think I think the Houston Tampa Bay game is probably game of the year so far. That was just a bonkers.
They were going back and forth, and then the one Boguale or whatever, he kicked the field goal.
Yeah,
yeah, that was crazy as hell. Because at first they just kept going for they kept going for it on 4th down and going for it for 2s because they didn't have a kicker. And then one point, I guess they really wanted to go up by 3 points, and they was like, "We gonna give this a shot."
I mean, we're close enough. Let's give it a shot. Worst case scenario, they gotta go 98 yards, which seemingly is like, oh my god. But in that game, it's like, hold my fucking beer.
Yeah,
let's go. And you know, the best part about that game for me is because I had Kate Otten, then I had Tank Dell and Noah Brown, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Just keep doing the thing there. That's great for me. Please keep going.
Yeah. What'd you get? Like almost 100 points out of them 3 players?
Oh, more than that. Hold on.
You got like 40 something from Brown and
yeah. So, I got 35 out of Tank, 46 out of Noah. So that puts me at what, 81. And then Kate Otten put up 25. So I had about damn near $110.
Yeah. By those 3 players alone.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I'm probably not going to start 4 tight ends again, but necessity dictated as such. So you got to do some things. I think Miami might be, like we said, smoke and mirrors.
No, they just. I mean, they're a beat up on lesser teams type of opponent. I mean, you give them any type of tough defense in front of them, they're gonna fold. I mean, they're almost like I don't know, an abusive partner in a relationship where he could beat up on women, but you put a man or a stout man in front of him, man, it's not that same tough Tony. He can only beat up on weak opponents.
Yeah, and you would think now that they got some defensive help back, you would think like, okay, and maybe it'll take a little bit. I mean, maybe it might be one of those things where they heat back up where, you know, it kind of matters, but you kind of also can't. I mean, I'm starting to realize
this whole escapade is. Remember, I said, why didn't they go out and trade for a tight end? They need another They need another pass catcher besides Waddle because. Not to take away anything from Waddle, but I am taking something from Waddle. Waddle is
brittle.
He is not that good to me. Like it's like he's okay. He's a nice compliment, but I mean, is he a dog or a super impactful receiver? And like you said, he's brittle. So not only does he get hurt a lot, he's just not all over the place. I mean, nobody's Tyreek Hill, you know what I mean? But nobody's AJ Brown either. But I just think that Waddle should be taking off a little bit more of that pressure off of just Tyreek Hill and Tua. I mean, he has to make himself even more available, or they got to come up with another pass.
Well, they were using the hell out of Barrios when they were winning. Then they stopped.
Yeah, where has Barrios been?
They're like, he's doing kick returns now. It's like, oh, back to your Jets days. That's cool.
They don't have a tight end at all, and it's like, what? Yeah, they need another. They need somebody to take off because teams are learning to just triple, double Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but honestly, half the time it don't fucking matter. Like he's just like, watch this.
Well, it don't matter against those teams that aren't that competitive. You know, those teams with good defenses that could either pressure the quarterback and he got to make a quick decision, or they got, two potentially lockdown corners. Yeah, he needs somebody else. I mean, it does matter. I mean, like, I'm not saying that Tyreek Hill can be covered by any, corner in the league, but if you put two solid corners on him, it's going to be hard to get it to him. No matter how much speed you got.
No, I get you. I mean, he is one of those. No one's uncoverable, obviously, but he is
about as close as you can get to.
Right. Like, he is in that tier of, like, if you put one person on him, you're a goddamn idiot.
Yeah. No, you put a safety, or you even trot out another corner that just stands about 20 yards off. You put your one corner about 10 yards off of you so you don't get by him. And then you got a second layer corner to bracket him, so to speak.
Like him and AJ and players like that, literally your goal is, let's just try to keep them below 100. Like, it just feels like that's your goal at that point. Just don't.
Yeah. And then you're sending a message to the quarterback. If you are going to beat us, you're going to beat us with somebody besides him. You're going to use your other receivers, and if you don't have the other receivers to step up and take the pressure off of him, so he can slowly get back open, then you got a problem.
Yeah, and they are definitely problems. We got another German game this week, and it looks terrible. We have a Thursday night game that looks terrible. We have a Sunday night game that looks terrible. Oh God.
Yeah, how did the Jets and the Giants get so many?
Because fucking Rodgers, and they fucked up when they were supposed to flex it out, and they like took too much time. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the Jets and the Giants have been on prime time like crazy.
Right.
And I said earlier, like, why are they so
like, these are not the Yankees and Mets, motherfucker? Like, do you have the wrong sport in your head? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, even if Rodgers was there, it's still like you're playing the fucking Giants. Woof. And this is 40-year-old Rodgers. I saw him on the sideline.
Yeah,
this motherfucker already looks like a coach. Like, you look too old. Like, you in the face, you just look too old to play. Like, you don't look like, just take your money. Just go. I don't know. Go do your yoga or whatever the fuck you do, you weirdo. Like, do all that. I don't know. The NFL is just super weird. They're like, they get on these narratives and they're like, we're gonna build a schedule like this because everyone's gonna want to watch Rodgers with the new team. It's like, no, they're not.
I thought that every year they keep building in rules to be able to flex the games to something different.
That's what they're supposed to do, but apparently they got to delay a game.
For some reason, they're not.
The NFL literally got to delay a game. Like, that's what happened. Like,
yeah, I have no idea why they,
and they should still be able to be like, listen, from a ratings, because they're all about their money. They should be like, rules be goddamn. This is our fucking league. If you don't like it, I don't know, but we're not going to put.
I mean, just this weekend alone, there were 4 supposedly heavyweight matchups. Now, the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be the Ravens and the Seahawks, which turned to be a
Sure.
laughing joke, but that was supposed to be a heavyweight matchup. The Cowboys and the
Eagles.
Eagles, and then Cincinnati and Buffalo. Only one of those was in primetime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they got to somehow find a way
And
to
I get it. You can't take all your good games from the daytime. I get that, but Jesus, tap dancing, like, all right, just so we can put this in perspective here, so folks know what we're actually talking about.
Maybe they should have flexed that Baltimore Seattle game into.
Well, I'm talking about this week. So this week, literally, we're dealing with this. So the Thursday game is Panthers and Bears. Woof. And then the Sunday German game is Patriots and Colts. Cool. And then we get the prime time of Jets and Raiders for Sunday night football. And then Monday night is Bills and Broncos. I mean, out of all four, Bills and Broncos is probably the most interesting. And that's not saying much. Like you got the Niners going against the Jags. Vikings, Saints, gross. Bengals, Texans.
Niners versus the Jags, man. That's a good one to me.
I don't know.
Record. The Niners is coming off a 3-game losing streak. Yeah, that's primetime TV.
I think the good game. I think the only game that's really worth watching is going to be Lions and Chargers. That's going to be fun. It should be fun.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, the Chargers are frauds. They always been, always will be. They are another team that sometimes they can't even beat up on the teams they're supposed to beat. Chargers find a way to lose it. Chargers are frauds.
One thing I've noticed this year is there's not like a lot of like middle of the ground teams. It's either like, oh, this is great, or it's
You're
like
really good.
Or like I'm gonna kill myself. I have to watch this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's either you're really good or you're. I ain't gonna say really bad, but like it's like you're really good, and then there's a bunch of.
I don't want to watch you.
And then there's just pathetic, like the Jets, the Steelers, like offenses where all the, like when you sit there and see the quarterback drop back and take 2-3 sacks in a row, that's just horrible football. Where you mean the quarterback, okay, he dropped back in the pocket, he didn't know where to go. Okay, let's get him next down, and he dropped back and then he don't know where to go again. That's pathetic to me. Like what?
Yeah, that it's like if I stand to the left this time, they won't see me. Got it. All right. Like okay. Like this is not Jurassic Park. If you stand still, they can still see you. Like
yeah.
But let's kind of talk about, because I mean we're not going to get into the games till Saturday. We're not. I mean the Thursday night game is Carolina and the Bears. So I guess Justin Fields might be back.
1-8 versus 2-7 or.
God, so much fun.
I
guess Justin Fields might be coming back. We'll see. They just activated Herbert off the not Herbert, whatever the fuck his name is, off IR.
That's his name, Herbert.
It is okay. I think I got confused because like Chargers.
Justin Herbert. Yeah.
How's there two Herberts in the fucking league? Jesus Christ. Anyway, whatever. Dude, fucking hey. And once again, another game that should not be in primetime. This should be This should be the 1:00 game on Who the Fuck Cares Network.
Yeah, this should be a game that they try to hide.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
front.
Like, I don't even know what to talk. There's nothing even to really talk about. Fields might play. Mooney seems to have a bit of he had a game. Okay. Chase points if you want to. I actually may have to by situation.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, any player that's off my team, they're going to produce once they leave. That's
once they
what
come up on
happens.
my team, okay, that's
Same
how it
thing.
works.
Same thing with John Smith. This when he was on my team, 5 points, 6 points, 7 points. He leave my
Well,
team 38 points. It's like
well,
okay.
he can fall back this week because I'm playing him, so you can like rent
Hey,
him.
don't tell him. As long as they get off my team, they'll produce.
Well,
When they
maybe it
on
could
my
be
team,
like
they
maybe we
is
can
gonna
tell
shit
him.
the bed.
Maybe we can tell him it's the weekend with Dad this week. Maybe, yeah,
Yeah, with dad.
yeah.
Yeah. If they
But
get
it's
off
just,
my team, they're good.
yeah. I mean, do you have anything to say about this game other than just gross?
I mean, the eligibles, like you said, it could be Fields, could be the Badgett dude. I don't know if they're which one is going to play. Receivers, Moore, he had the one good game, and I haven't really seen him. He's been milk carton material
Neither
after
is
that.
he. But revenge game though, so we'll fucking see how that goes. Just keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
Mooney, like you said, Komet's been producing. That dude's been
Yeah,
dropping 2, 3 touchdowns a week. I don't know, is his luck run out or what? Or but then
what Komet does. He's such a frustrating player.
oh yeah, he's very volatile. Like the next week he can drop you 3 points, but after dropping you 40
At
something.
best, right? Exactly. It's super frustrating.
And then the running back, like you said, Herbert, I don't know if he's coming up IR, but I got to do Foreman. That's a revenge game for him because he played for Carolina last year.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. I kind of been forced to start him. That's about it. That's the Bears. Carolina, Bryce Young,
No,
I
leave
mean,
that be.
the
Leave
the
that
the
be.
the disparagency between him and Stroud was
Dude.
so ridiculous. And he got picked before him. I know Carolina fans is like, why didn't we pick that dude?
Right.
Because you had the number one pick. You could have picked anybody you wanted to. You didn't. It didn't have to fall.
You know what though? It's just like it's like we said in one of the first episodes. It's like you don't fucking know. You don't. Like it sounds good in theory. It's a whole different game in college. Yeah, you're playing the same general game, but no, man, this is like going. Well, you're going to the majors. Like that's how that shit goes. And
I'm just saying, certain quarterbacks, I guess, can drop back, read where they're going to go with it, and try to get it there. I mean, regardless of
intangibles.
some quarterbacks that throw to a spot, like they don't care if the receiver's there or not. Like before the receiver even break out of their break,
Right.
the ball is already headed there. So Tua's one of them, where he doesn't necessarily see his target. The play is called that, hey, it's supposed to land in this spot, and Tua's throwing. And most of the time, the receivers are there to catch it.
Yeah.
But then there's some quarterbacks that they need to fully see it, so they sit there and back in that pocket, and they look fucking stupid, and they either take a sack or they hop out of it like Kenny Pickett because they don't see it and try to throw on the run, and you can't throw on the run. You're shitty at throwing on the run. So, I mean, same thing with Bryce Young. I mean, I was watching some of that Carolina game where he was just like, he was backing up and he just didn't see whatever. He wasn't seeing what Stroud was seeing. And he was just constantly taking sacks, looking stupid. I don't know. And same thing with Zach Wilson last night. He kept backing up.
Hold on. So what's interesting, because I watched that game obviously for a multitude of reasons, but he had some plays where I'm like, dude, you actually look talented.
Yeah, like some of those throws.
When he had a few seconds, like he was able to step up and zip it in there, and it's like, good fucking play. Yeah. But then literally right after that, I'm gonna get sacked because I don't like to have expectations.
So it's obviously it's something he's seeing on those good plays that he can't see on those bad plays. It's like,
and you can't always blame it on the line. Like, sorry.
No, they were giving him
nice
time.
Try.
Oh no, I mean, like sometimes with the Steelers, you can blame it on the line because there ain't no. I mean, before he even moved, but that Jets game yesterday, he was standing back there, and you like, okay, let it go. Let it
Right.
go. He's sacked again. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
okay. He just don't see it. And I don't think every throw that CJ Stroud was throwing, he saw it. He just was like,
No.
I'm going to take a chance
Right.
and I'm going to throw it to where it's supposed to be. And
Right.
hopefully my receiver come down with it. And he
Right.
got lucky 5 times.
And that's how you build confidence with your receivers. That you get that. I mean, you can watch, tape till you're blue in the face. You start actually doing it, and then your receiver sees what you're doing. What he sees, what you're seeing. Like that's kind of the whole point. Like
And
if you were
another
listening,
adjustment from college football to NFL football is college football, you could look down the field. The man is wide open. There ain't a D back within 20 yards of him. So you
right,
drop it to him. No. There might be a 5-yard window, if even that.
right,
Or your receiver could be covered. You got to throw it to him even though he's covered.
right.
And knowing that your receiver has the ability to come down with the football. Like you could
And you
have a
gotta have
D
the
back.
confidence. You gotta have the confidence that that's gonna happen because that's a scary thing. You think about, I'm gonna throw this into coverage. The chances of this going well isn't great, but to have the balls to do that, I think that's something a lot of quarterbacks don't have either.
Yeah, because I've seen plenty of NFL receivers come down with balls where you say to yourself, like, damn, he was completely covered. The deep end, there was not even a margin of that much amongst each other, but he threw it and said, my receiver
Is
is
better
better
than
at
you.
better at
Yes.
judging the ball and coming down with it than you. So I'm gonna throw it to him, even though he is covered. As long as he ain't double covered. Now, when he double covered, that's kind of
Right.
that's some old Mitch Trubisky shit where you throw it in the double cover. Your receiver most of the time ain't gonna come down with that.
No.
But if he's by himself, if I'm looking up the sideline and I call it and I see George Pickens running a fucking go route and he's covered and it's only one man, I'm still throwing it because I
Yeah.
have confidence that
It
George
makes
Pickens
sense.
is going to come down with the ball.
Right, because he knows the ball is coming to him. That was the whole point of the play. The D back isn't necessarily sure.
The D back, yeah, that's the
You know,
advantage that the receiver has on the D back.
right.
That's why it's way harder to play. To me, that's D back is one of the hardest positions to play on the field, especially in defense. You're out there on the island, and
Right.
you don't know where the receiver's running. The receiver knows his route. He knows exactly where he's going. You have to guess and react to where he's going and somehow be there.
Okay, real quick. Did you see balloons come up on the screen?
Balloons.
Listen, I just saw fucking balloons come on the screen and I was pretty goddamn happy about it.
What, you got a balloon celebration on her?
Motherfucker, I didn't press shit. I didn't do nothing.
I didn't see anything.
Oh, that's fun. What did I do? Did I press a button? Is there a button on this thing? If there's been buttons on this motherfucker and I have not known, I'm gonna be real upset.
You got
It was
balloon
so
animation?
yeah, so whenever someone sends you something from an iPhone, they have the little balloon celebration thing.
Yeah, when they say
That's exactly what
congratulations.
happened. Right.
Yeah, and the balloon, the confetti come up and shit. Yeah.
Listen, if you're bored, look up like the 41-minute mark of this recording on YouTube and you'll see that shit happen. It was wild. I'm pretty happy about it. Either that or I got a text. No, I didn't get a text. What in the bloody hell happened? And
I
also,
don't know.
how
I'm
can I
about to
make that
hit
shit
this
happen
more
again?
button. Comments, cancel, settings. Okay. Chat, mic, cam. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Man,
You really seen some balloons.
I swear to Christ, that either that or I'm having a stroke.
Ugh.
I am very intrigued and excited and scared. I don't know what happened. I wish you could. Yeah, you're gonna have to check it out just to make sure I'm not losing my mind.
Well, you would have to go back in the recording and find out if it happened.
But um, yeah, I mean going back to the whole Thursday thing though. Not
Oh yeah. Let me run through the Carolinas. Yeah, it's Bryce Young. You can go with Adam Thielen. He cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, they keep talking about some Mingo dude, but I don't really know. They can
Johnny Mingo. Johnny Mingo sounds like a porn star.
yeah. Um,
Uh,
running backs is Chuba or Miles
I
Sanders.
like Chuba. Chuba got juice.
Hmm.
I
I think
enjoy
you in
Chuba.
love. I think you done fell in love with the name because he ain't really showed me shit.
I mean, look, there's like 80%. It's absolutely his name.
You in love with the name like Cuba. He
It feels
hasn't
good to
shown
say.
me a damn thing.
I would say by comparison to Miles, it's better. Hold on. All right, I did my best to try to die there on camera. I'm back. Uh, I had to kind of after talking about the Thursday game, I got a little nauseous. So there's no no back to the tuba thing. Yeah, it's like 80% his name. I like saying his name. It's fun.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with the production. I think Cuba was way more productive last year when he was
Mm-hmm.
like that unheard of back that was getting carries.
Well, I mean, I think it's easy to say he looks good by comparison to Miles Sanders. That dude has never been good. He never will be good. Um, and congratulations on cashing in on a mediocre at best career and getting the bag. So I don't know what Carolina saw, but whoopsie doozles.
Yeah, they done. They definitely paid him.
To be hurt.
Yeah, I can't even remember what college that dude came from when the Eagles drafted him. He just never was. He was always a scat back to me. Like he was never a workhorse back. He's a
It just,
change of pace back. That's it.
I mean, and look, here's the thing. Same thing as with Baltimore. None of your backs are that good, so you need to keep having four backs. So when you were in Philly, you were never like head of the table. You were always getting spelled and doing this, and it's like, okay, well,
Speaking of that, I mean, you see this new the Mitchell dude just pop up. It's like just when you thought that Gus Edwards is finally getting a stranglehold of that backfield, they
well,
introduced another clown to the mix. And I'm like, damn.
I mean, let's all boo hoo for Baltimore. Oh, okay, I'm good.
No, I'm
Uh,
boo-hooing for any fantasy manager that's trying to start a Bible back in their offense.
well, that's your fault for fucking thinking that's a good idea. You deserve your fate. You know what you're getting into. It's like, it's like taking home a big check from the bar. You know what you're about to get into. Like, don't be surprised. But
No,
you
no.
can't complain
Gus
about.
Edwards was scoring 2, 3 touchdowns a game, and it was like starting to become his backfield. And then all of a
No, you're
sudden,
not wrong. I
boom,
mean, you're absolutely right though. Like it is a situation where they have actually shown, hey, here's somebody, and I just got locked outside the house here. Hold on. Okay. So it's me, puppy. It's not Mama. I'm sorry. Mama's in Chicago banging her boyfriend. Uh, if you don't understand that reference, listen to the last X's and O's of life. It's yeah. But
I was on the
yeah,
last one.
was it the last one?
I thought it was on the one before that.
It might have been.
Yeah, because the last one was mainly about.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, wait.
We talked about movies, monster movie. No, we talked about movies that like mindfuck movies,
Yeah.
and
Which was supposed to
then
be monster movies, but turned into a whole different thing.
yeah,
Um,
um, And then we prefaced this before that. We was talking about the
Senses.
job.
Senses. We did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was one before that. Yep. Good call. All right. Um. Yeah. Look, it's an interesting backfield too because it's not Gus Miller. Who's the other guy? Or Gus? What? Yeah. Who the fuck is Gus Miller?
I have no idea. That sounds like somebody on a show.
It does. Who's the other back?
It's Justice Hill.
Oh, Justice Hill is actually getting more. He's getting more snaps, which makes no sense.
And he's a smaller back. It's like
Yeah.
Gus, and then Justice Hill, and then you got to always account for Lamar scrambling and just taking yards. And then now you add this Keaton Mitchell dude. And it's like, wow.
So it's literally another situation of why don't be a fireman. Don't be a fireman and complain that you got burnt at work.
You said it's like you taking a fat bitch to the crib and you like, man, she was stinking. She wasn't really clean. You like, what did you think?
What did you think was gonna happen? You pick when you started talking to her, she was sweaty. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
You was gonna pull them drawers down and the shit was gonna be fresh.
No.
With a belly laying over top of the pussy.
No, you had about a 7-minute window after she got out of the shower where it was going to be the.
You have to attack it within the 7 minutes of walking. As the back of the heel leaves the tub, there's a timer, and it's 7 minutes.
Your signal is degrading. You got fucking ingress.
I gotta stop laughing. You're gonna hurt. It hurts to laugh. Let me stop. Oh man, he said your signal is degrading.
You have inside ingress.
You've taken the car off the parking lot and it's depreciating soon as you drive it off.
Listen, you went from Deshaun Watson to Zach Wilson. All right. So, now you got fucking Brett Rippon, which he had a very long lasting career. Hats off to Brett Rippon being released again. I don't know if it was again, but you had a real great career of doing not much anything, but you weren't really expected to do anything. I've heard people say that if Rippon was starting again, they were going to sit Cup. And I don't think I can necessarily go against that. Like, he's one of the other guys that feels very like...
The only person that was still eating was the Puka dude. It's like, how does Cup take a backseat to that dude? I don't understand.
Dude, Puka got dick pics of somebody. Absolutely.
Something. Because he still continues to eat no matter who's the quarterback.
It's weird. It's so weird. It's like a fucking Samoan Wes Welker.
Well, he's way bigger than him, but...
You know what I mean? Just like...
Yeah, he's just a possession. He's that one dude that, like, I don't even think they even tell him to run routes. They just say, man, hey, go behind whoever and stand there. Like, they don't even give him a route tree. Huh?
He's backyard football.
Yeah. Like, they probably, like, when they try to explain the play to him, he probably give that, me speak no English. And they just be like, hey, man, just run. And then he just go and he run the route he want to run.
See, every option, every route is an option route. Don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
He's running option routes on running plays. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I run? Fuck, sure. Have fun, kid.
He probably, if he was running his options right or his routes right, maybe Cooper Kupp would be way more wide open. But because he's like a parasitic receiver where he's paying attention to what the other receivers do. He'd be like, "Oh, well, he went up there. He's covered. Let me go stand right behind him." And then he's
Right.
right there. He's right there to eat up the dang on reception.
He's undercutting Cooper Cup and like he's a fucking corner. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's what I'm saying. He's a parasitic wide receiver. Yeah, because I don't know how the hell you just now come onto the scene and you more productive than pretty much the MVP of the Super Bowl that year that Rams won it.
Yeah. Well, let's start to wrap this up here. So, what do you not kicking you while you're down, but the week's over, so get over the tilt. How are you feeling now? I mean, you're what, 5-3, or no, 5-4,
Mm-hmm.
5-4. Okay. Um, by no stretch of the imagination out of it, but I also understand you don't want to like limp into the playoffs here. So, for people that are kind of in your circumstance here, that are a tick over 500, and maybe their league is different from the you know what the standings are. I mean, we look at this one, because I like to go through this every few weeks, but since it is so tight, you know we got the first place at 7-2. I'm at 6-3 in second. Then we got three people at 5-4, two more at 4-5, and the rest is 3-6. So you're currently in the fifth position. You're fifth slash fourth because you're behind by like 70 points, which is not a massive amount. Um, Definitely a way behind Bob, about three grand behind Bob. So that's definitely that's gonna have to be a record type of deal.
You said man, you mean 300?
Oh yeah, 3 grand, 300, whatever. It's an extra zero.
3,000.
It's fine. Um, so by no stretch do I think that you're out of it, or really even in a place to really be concerned. Now, obviously, you have a real tough situation this week. We look at what you got to deal with here. I mean,
No quarterbacks.
you're literally having to go. Well, a few people this week actually or last week had to do a one quarterback deal. So, I mean, you're not in a great place. I mean, you're gonna have to play somebody.
Yeah.
In the quarterback position, so you're gonna have to get rid of somebody and do something there. But you are facing the kiddo, and his team is it's not actually terrible. It really isn't. Like, now that he has his players back, he actually has things he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It ain't
but
nowhere near the first time I played him. So
right, yeah, he actually has some talent out there. And funny enough, he actually has a Gus bus, so there's that. But what are your feelings, man? Like, real deal Holyfield. What are you thinking now that you can like disconnect the emotional part of it?
like I said, feel like I've already completed the first leg of a 3-game losing streak, and then I'm gonna try to win those last 2 or 3 that's left, and see if I can get in the back door. That's it.
When do we play again?
Right after that, that's why I said a 3-game losing
Oh,
streak.
do you? Oh, well, that's enjoyable for me. Uh, 1 sec. Really? Do I have you week 11? No, I don't. No, you're week 12. Oh, yeah, you're week 12. And
No, I thought I played. I thought I
uh-uh.
played your son and then played you right after that
Nope,
this year.
nope, nope. Yeah, and There's seemingly no bye weeks there, so it could
Oh,
actually be competitive.
I think I play Kemp that next week. So
Well, I can check that here.
that must mean that I'm going on a. I
Yeah,
just
you
completed
do.
one leg of a 2-game lose. I'm gonna lose to your son. Probably gonna beat Kemp and lose to you, and then try to finish strong with whoever else I got to play, and we'll see what
See,
happens.
now that your bitch ass said that out in the ether, now exactly what's going to happen is you're going to beat me by a hundo because that's
No,
just what happens. Like you're,
not with the trades you made. No.
I
Unless
am
your
excited.
quarterbacks don't, unless my quarterbacks come to the party guns blazing and yours don't come at all, I don't see it because I don't have the supporting cast. I don't have enough actors for a movie. I have enough actors for a fucking 30-minute fucking sitcom on PBS.
My quarterbacks always come.
Yeah, and Jalen ain't gonna be
Always.
on the bye. The only time I could have got you is if Jalen was on the bye like he is this week.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? This is actually what we didn't get to discuss, and we'll wrap it up because we were going to touch on it, then it didn't happen. So I did make a trade last week. I traded, and it did hurt me. I got burnt from it. So knowing that I felt that I had an easier matchup last week, which seemingly I didn't, but
Bob is the only one that, I mean, since you made your trades, Bob is the one that put the most fear in you since then, right?
yeah,
Everybody else
that
was a cakewalk. Like by the time Monday hit, the Monday night game, you was feet up,
yeah,
fucking fed grapes and shit, feet all fat and shit.
right,
Like
yeah,
you, but Bob made you sweat it a little bit. That was about
which
the
was
closest you
fun,
sweat it.
which was like strangely fun and exciting and
If you would
frustrating
have
and
lost, it
terrifying.
wouldn't have been fun at a fucking.
No, not at all. But I can say it was fun because I fucking won.
Yeah, if you would have
Um,
lost, it would have been a different conversation on here.
absolutely, goddamn, completely. Um, but shit, what was I saying?
Oh no, you saying that you made a trade
Oh,
and
yeah. So, first of all, I liked that I had this for a while. Then I started thinking, it's like, okay, I'm kind of eating myself out of house and home here because I have Jalen Hurts, I had DeAndre. Hmm. I had
DeAndre Swift.
Swift. Yeah,
Yeah,
him too. I keep wanting to call him Devontae for some stupid reason.
you thinking of
Um,
Devontae Smith?
it's exactly what's
DeAndre
happening.
Swift.
I mean, it's close enough. Shit.
Yeah, they
If you have
are.
a good enough lisp, it'll sound the same.
Yeah.
Um, Swift, AJ, and Hurts having a trio of the offensive kind of triangle that it just it feels good, but it doesn't.
It feels
Because
good to me because anytime this team is scoring, I have a chance at them scoring
yes,
in the air. I have a chance at them scoring on the ground. And with the type of
yes,
quarterback that Jalen Hurts is, I got a chance of them scoring on the ground and through the air at the same time. So I would love to have
yes.
three pieces of a person's offense. No matter which way they get in, they're going through most of the time one of my players. So I'm going to get credit either way. So if they go to a different receiver or a tight end, I'm still getting credit from Hurts. If they go to A.J. Brown, I'm getting double bubble credit. And if I get a pass to DeAndre Swift, I'm getting double bubble credit. Or if Swift simply runs it in, I'm getting credit because the Eagles are a productive offense. I don't see how you see a problem in that.
I wouldn't say a problem necessarily. It ate in a little bit to my decision, but I also wanted to make a move because of my seemingly lesser matchup I had last week, and then going into a bipocalypse, which had all three of those players.
All three, like, yeah, that's the only big problem. I mean, in my other league that I got Hurts and Brown in, and I got the Eagles defense. Now this is the week I'm scrambling because I got to
Right.
replace three fucking players. Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to kind of get ahead of that. And I wanted to shop something around. And seeing that Cousins got hurt, I was like, well, I think Addison's going to take a back seat now. He's not going to be as good as he was. Also with JJ coming back, it's like, well, all right, let me package something together. So I went around the corner and And I made a trade for ETN and Josh Palmer for Addison and Swift.
Josh
And
Palmer, IR.
Yep. Didn't see that coming. Didn't I know his knee was a little bit banged up, but the fact that your knee was banged up, then you played, you got hurt,
So
and you
my
looked like you
comment
were
to you
about to.
was even before his knee, I told you, I was like, Josh Palmer ain't really that great of a receiver. I was like, I understand that you wanted who was the other person in that trade? ETN. I said ETN is a
Yeah.
great, but ETN and Swift, I ain't gonna say they're the same, but they're kind of similar because ETN is more of Jacksonville's offense, and he probably does a little bit more than Swift, but the Eagles' offense is way more productive and prolific than the Jaguars' offense. So it's like,
well, so it was also partially so I can get away from having to start Addison because I didn't know what they were going to do. And then they got Dobbs. I'm like, fuck. Cool. Okay. But I'm still going to go on the idea of JJ's going to come back. And I think he's going to he's going to be back to the lion's share. And then Addison is going to be a supplemental piece. And we'll see how it goes. Now, obviously, I'm doing my best to do some mental gymnastics to keep myself okay with this thing because literally trading for someone that goes on IR the week, like 2 days after you trade for him, fucking sucks. It stings. So I'm hoping that, ETN makes it worth my while. And, hey, not every trade can be amazing, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it ends up being worthwhile. I mean, worst case scenario, I got rid of one person on buy last week to have one extra person that would have been on buy this week. I won last week, so part one of the equation is solved. And if we can agree that they are generally the same player, then it would be a wash, at least from the wide receiver or from the running back standpoint. I may have took the L on the wide out part of it, but hey, we'll see. I mean, he's on IR for 4 weeks. He very well could come back and be productive. Who knows? We'll see. I mean,
you seen that Charger offense yesterday. It was Keenan Allen,
yeah,
and Keenan Allen. I mean, there was nobody else he was going to. So,
and that's exactly why I went after Palmer, like, because they need somebody else to throw to, like they need. So,
nobody else. I mean,
I
went at
feel
Guyton a couple times. He went to the Everett tight end a couple times. He definitely didn't go to my
picked up
tight end
Guyton
at
too.
all.
I
If he
did
would
pick
have
up
went to my
Guyton too.
tight end, I'd have probably won.
Yeah.
He went to it was Eckler.
Yep.
And Keenan Allen. That was it. I mean,
yep.
That's why I said the Chargers are frauds, and it's going to keep playing itself out. I don't even see the Chargers making the playoffs. I really don't.
As long as they're chucking the ball and dumping it off the
Well, I
X,
mean, fantasy purposes, you can give a fuck less if they make the real playoffs. I'm just telling you, they're frauds. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Do you think Guyton will be anything?
I don't know, man. Maybe if he gets more familiarity. I mean, he was something I think a little bit last year.
He was.
Yeah.
So I mean, as soon as I saw that move, I picked it. As soon as I saw the activated him, I picked him up. I'm like, let's sit on it, see what happens. I got roster space. I have zero aspirations of playing you, but I'm gonna sit and wait. I mean, he put up an O for yesterday, but I think they're like, we're not gonna like.
Oh, he didn't even have a catch.
No, he had
a couple times.
He had a few targets, and they put sauce on him. I think both times that sauce was on him, so it's like, oh, we're fucked.
That's why, because Keenan Allen is productive because he runs everything in the slot, and Sauce is not following him in the slot. He's going to stay on the outside.
Yeah, which maybe that's why your dude wasn't productive, because I know that he was on him.
Oh, that Johnston dude, he was the only one. He caught a couple, but they were insignificant. But yeah. I forgot about the Quentin Johnston rookie dude. He just it's like they're trying.
Hilarious because you had him on the fucking
force him for a breakout, and he just won't do it.
No, he's like Mike Williams, except without the talent and pedigree.
He got the size. got the hair, he won't do it.
Yeah.
He will not do it. He will not be productive.
I mean, he very well could be something. Like, that's the thing. Like, he could eventually evolve and be something. Like, can you imagine having Keenan, Mike Williams, and that big motherfucker on the other side? Like at that point, you're just like playing on like. Remember how Madden had like Madden cards and you can make everyone giant and shit? That's basically what that would end up being like.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard I mean, some rookies get it immediately and they just pick it up. Some
Right.
rookies it take a while for them to first they got to learn how to be a professional, and
Right.
then they got to learn how to study that playbook. Like they got to learn how to let go of that college life where I just show up on Saturdays and fucking play. That doesn't happen in the NFL. You don't just
Nah,
show up on
son.
Sundays and fucking play. You're not going to be productive. You have
Nope.
to actually put in some work.
Yeah.
And as soon as they learn that, then I don't know how many players, not even receivers, but any player that you've seen take a big leap from year one to big year two to even year three, where the lights click on and they
Right.
finally become
And it's
like a
not because they
great
got more
player.
talented. They just got more mature. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
wait, hold
and they
on.
got more focused. Yep.
But yeah, that's about all I got, though,
All
for the
right.
day. Let you not have to talk so you can get your throat in order. We will see you guys tomorrow on the X's and O's. I got a few ideas and I'll chuck them your way tomorrow. See what you want to do with them. We got to figure out a draft we got to do. I didn't really think of anything yet for it.
I have no thoughts whatsoever. Like I said, I've been.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So I'll figure out something fun.
All right.
Yeah, I already got a few ideas just like that. Beautiful. I'm a fucking genius. All right. Well, I would say enjoy Thursday's game, but it's just not. That's just too mean for me to say. But
Telling you, but by Thursday come around, I know I'm gonna be still sitting there clicking it on. There ain't no way I'm gonna ignore it.
oh god, there better be like a Pens game or something that night, so I have to fucking subject myself to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely take pay
Ugh.
because it's like at that point you're starved. It's like you're fed. Like right now, your belly is full, but come all day tomorrow, you're gonna be getting real hungry. Then Thursday night around 8 o'clock, you're like, oh man, I know that food is, I know bottom of the barrel. I know it's fucking canned food, but I'm starving, and you gonna eat. You are gonna eat. I don't care if it's just a little bit. You're gonna eat some of it.
God, what a fucked up analogy. Like, the only time you ever make a good analogy, it's fucking for this shit. Good job. Gross.
Oh,
all right. Well, look, you go get better. Go, work on your throat. You can take that.
Saying
You
it
can
like
take
that,
that.
man. Get your throat together.
You can.
You like go get your throat deeped. Go deep throat. I'm like, God damn, stop saying it like that. All
Yeah,
right.
you can go ahead and fix your throat. Take that however you want to. Literally take that however you want to. Enjoy Thursday if you can, and don't be mean to your pets. Okay, bye.
All right, I don't have any.
Yeah, there you go.